In the final round,
the audience choice ingredient?
Bud Light!
And here we go.
Looks like Chef Dubois is emulsifying the Bud Light into a foam. What's his competitor doing?
He appears to be having a really good time.
A Bud Light reduction for Dubois. And his opponent?
Also improvising nicely. Let's see that again.
Judges.
I like the use of the pressure cooker to tenderize the beef.
But also the use of the cell phone to order the pizza.
It's the sure sign of a good time. It's just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Sorry, Chef, we're gonna need more ingredient.
From Buffalo Wild Wings, this is the Jeff Fisher Show, brought to you by Super Park and Bud Light.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings in Creve Coeur. This is the Jeff Fisher Show alongside DeMarco Farr. I'm Steve Savard, joined by the head coach. Attaboy, attaboy. That's it. That's what we like to hear. Joined by the head coach, Jeff Fisher. That's a good welcome here.
Yeah, thank you.
How you doing?
Good.
I want to make sure we can hear Coach here in at Buffalo Wild Wings. What was your address to the team today? Was it any different than what you said yesterday?
Well, yesterday, you got 8 or 10 minutes, from the time the gun sounds to pull the guys together and talk, and we did. I thought we had a constructive conversation in the locker room, and today it was the same. It was about look at the good things that we did, and look how this game could have been 17-3 at halftime. Instead, it's 13-7. So that's what you have to look at, and how you can ensure that next time it ends up going in your favor as opposed to against you. So, the turnovers are just like we were talking about on the break. I mean, you turn it over 3 times to anybody and don't get it back, and then you don't convert drives on third down or get off the field on third down. It's hard to win football games that way.
So your take is that the margin for error was very, very slim yesterday.
Well, if you play better, you obviously score more points. But it was not. With the way this defense is, and put aside the last few games of the Jets. The Jets are a dangerous team because they're equipped defensively to give you problems. Offensively, they are equipped to run. Now, they got behind for whatever reason the last couple of weeks and had to get away from the run game. But when they're playing our kind of football, which is run, first down, play action, keeping the game close kind of thing, they're hard to they're hard to stop. And obviously they had 40 rushing attempts yesterday and 20 pass attempts. All right. That's what we needed to end the game with, and we did. We had to throw it a whole bunch just to have a chance to win it.
I thought that was interesting. You said that they beat us at our own game. I like that because this is how you want to win games. You want to be physical up front. What was going on in the run game with Sean Green? Those 2-back leads or whatever you call them were kind of popping through there. What was going on?
Yeah, they were changing, doing different things. They were checking with me. They get us in the front and do one thing and get us in another front and do another. And then they had it wasn't just the 2-back leads. It was also the 3 tight end sets with Justin or Jason in there, and we misfit. We missed tackles. We didn't spill correctly. And that takes. That's the defensive front 7. I mean, we gotta get that corrected, or we'll assure you we'll see a lot more of that.
Oh, definitely. So it wasn't a case of being knocked off the football or knocked down.
You know what? You'd have been proud of the D line. They played a pretty good game. We got pressure when we needed to, but they run front wise. I thought the D line wasn't the issue.
Let me go back to something you talked about at the top of the show here, and that is you have 8 or 10 minutes to regroup. To me, I've always thought because football is a once-a-week thing, because it's a game of the highs and lows and the emotions, as a head coach, you got to gather yourself, and then you have to deal with us in the meet. First, you got to deal with your football team and impart whatever message you want to impart. You got to come do an interview with us, then meet with the entire media. To me, and DeMarco could talk about this, when your emotions are running so high, especially after a disappointing game, that's got to be a difficult thing to do. Now you're used to it with almost 20 years as a head coach, but when you first started, was that a difficult thing?
Yeah, it was difficult because you don't ever want to prepare for a press conference or to talk to your team in case you lose. Right. You don't do that. And so basically it's a spontaneous thing, but you have to keep things into perspective, and that's what we try to do. And and the other thing that's hard is that you haven't seen the tape. you don't know exactly what went down here or there. You think you did, or you think you saw something, but you haven't seen the tape. And then, of course, there's a natural frustration for the, the missed opportunities for the officials to get the call right. There's a normal frustration associated with that as well.
You do. I got to tell you, though, you do a really good job of not crossing lines like that. I mean,
well,
now, does your background
talk about it too? Because this thing was, I always preface it by saying, look, that's a hard job that they have right there. Okay, it's a hard job. It's not easy. There are going to be mistakes, but some of them are, you wonder, like yesterday at the end. And it wasn't game-changing, but we had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. They did for hitting the helmet-to-helmet contact on Sam.
Right.
Well, then they throw a flag and say that was also intentional grounding, on the play. And their explanation to me was that, well, there was not a receiver in the area.
You're saying Richardson was there.
Ball almost hit him in the feet. There, he could have reached out and touched him. See, he was so close they must have lost him, because that to me, so those penalties offset, and I got 3rd and 10 again instead of automatic first down and 15 yards. But the explanation was there was not a receiver in the area. Well, you've got helmet-to-helmet contact, and you've got a swat at the arm anyway. So it's not like he spiked the ball, and if he wanted to spike the ball, he could because he was right there. Those are things that frustrate me sometimes.
Was the interpretation he was engaged in blocking, and therefore they didn't think he was a legitimate receiver there? Because that's what we interpreted.
No.
That's how we thought they were interpreting it.
Well, that's not what was explained to me. There was not a receiver in the area.
Now, you mentioned that call. You didn't mention the hold on Rodney McLeod, which could have been a game changer. Chris Givens takes it the distance. It's 14-13 if that call's not made. It looked to us like two things. Number one, it was a legal block. The hands were within the frame of the body. There was no grabbing of the jersey. And it looked to me like, I think it was Schillens, I don't know who it was. His goal there was just to turn Givens inside. He didn't even try to make a play on the
Correct.
tackle.
He was a content guy. He was hands up in the air.
Right.
When the hands go up, boom.
He was content
Gave
just to have
himself
Givens
up.
turn inside.
Yeah, well, he threw his hands up to say, hey, he's holding me. Kind of like, oh, come on. So, yeah, I mean, you don't want to see that call. I mean, there were, on their first kickoff return, that ball jumped, they pushed it out past the 30-yard line. There were 3 holds on it that were a lot more egregious than that. And it's just a matter of them seeing it or not seeing it. And, let's be upfront. I'm not making excuses for this ball game and put it on officials.
Right.
But when you're playing in a close game and things happen on the field, and you have to look at the entire play. For example, on Sam's interception, you say, why did he throw it out there late? Well, Sam's waiting for Danny to run the shallow cross, so he's waiting for him to clear. The defender grabs Danny and spins him all the way around. That's defensive holding. It's 3rd and 4. It's automatic first down. So he gets spun around, and his back is to, seriously, I mean, it's kind of like yard ball, And so Sam goes out late to the check down, and Smith is man-to-man the check down. He makes a great play on it. But so you look at the entire play as to what happened. Well, that interception return should have been called back. We should have had automatic first down because of defensive holding.
So what's your approach, going back to the call on Rodney McLeod? You, John Fossil, what's your approach on coaching points? What do you tell Rodney in that situation?
Okay, we're going to put your hands inside. You're going to try to steel rod him, which means you want to push him this way and get in front of him, okay? But if we're going to identify or describe holding on a scale of 1 to 10. The 10 is a grab him around the neck and take him to the ground, throw him up in the seats is 10, and 1 might just be a little slight grab. We can't have either 1, 2, 10. We got to be clean 0 because that's help. We got to be zeros because it's cost us a lot of yards the last 2 weeks.
Did you say this afternoon at your press conference we're not good enough to even put that in the mind of somebody?
Correct.
How did you phrase it?
That's that. So we're not good enough right now to give the official the illusion that we're holding. Because we can't overcome these. We don't need to overcome these right now.
Sometimes I think they just can't wait to drop the flag. That's just me.
But objectively speaking, my next question has to be, should that even be in the mind of an official? what the team's record is, where you are.
Holding,
clean.
I'm saying.
No, I understand what you're saying.
We got to play good, fundamental football and stop putting ourselves in positions
I see where you're
where
going
we're getting a penalty, whether we agree with it or not.
I see where you're going.
Okay, that's where I'm going with that.
Okay.
You know what? Make the runner, make the return man, make this guy miss him.
But you would like the guys in the Zebras to officiate the game as if they have no idea what the records are.
Oh, they do. They're not biased when they come into games. That's not the case. They're doing the best job they can. So
in baseball, a 350 hitter is going to get the benefit of the doubt versus a 250 hitter at the plate. None of that goes on.
It does not go on. No.
We have a new number for call-ins tonight here in the Jeff Fisher Show, 314-656-6101, 656-6101. Hit us up on Twitter, at Rams Radio. You can answer the question here at Buffalo Wild Wings. We will come right back. This is the Jeff Fisher Show, brought to you by Super Park, Buffalo Wild Wings on 101 ESPN and the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.
Hey. Who's that?
Oh, that's Rob.
When I lived in this apartment, the 49ers won the Super Bowl. I used to watch every game from this exact spot. This exact spot. I didn't know what else to do. This is my lucky seat, man. The team needs me, man.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings. This is the Jeff Fisher Show, and we'll take your calls. Tonight, the number is 314-656-6101, 656-6101, or on Twitter, at Rams Radio. We have somebody here who would like to ask a question. Jill, there's the microphone, and go right ahead and talk with the Rams head coach.
First, I want to just thank you for everything you're doing for St. Louis. I know it's a rough season at times, but we're there for you.
Thank you.
But the first time ever I noticed this, what are those signs the defense's guys on the sidelines have? Like they had a 21 and a 13?
Good question. We signal, we want our defense and the guys in the huddle to know who's in the offensive huddle. So 21 stands for 2 running backs and 1 tight end. That means then there's 2 receivers in addition to that. 12 stands for 1 running back, 2 tight ends. 13, and you can kind of figure that. So that's what that means. So it's not strategic. Not everybody, but teams will do that. We've done that in the past. And it was just a lot easier on us. Coach Cecil's on the sideline, and he's just usually signaling, but he gets so in the game, he ends up walking on the field doing it. I've gotten tired of saying, Chuck, get back. So I just let someone else do it, so Chuck can stay back.
So those aren't lottery numbers.
They're not
I'm just
lottery
kidding.
numbers.
He was never thank you, Jill. That was a good question.
Yeah.
Very observant. He was not at all intense as a player, Chuck.
No,
he didn't have any intensity about him, did he?
No. He was just one of those soft DBs.
Yeah, right.
From Pac-10.
Quiet demeanor off the field.
Ask Ron Middleton.
I think he got all of it out between the lines. Huh?
Yeah, he did.
Do you have a get-back coach?
Yes. Well, Rock Gullickson will do it. Glove does it as well. And then all I have to do is just yell once. But
Glove gets why. Leroy Glover gets guys' attention.
Well, he does, but what gets frustrating sometimes is you look back and guys will be creeping up, and the get-back guys will be watching the game.
Yeah.
So anyway, you don't want. It's happened a couple times. Happened to Cleveland 2 or 3 years ago during the preseason. But one of the backup quarterbacks stepped out in the white there, and the back or the field judge was running backwards and backpedaling, ran right into him. Boom, 15-yard penalty. Preseason, not good, but regular season can't
really not good.
Not good. No.
Hey, and by the way, you mentioned Steve mentioned to you about answering questions and having to reconcile what went on and then get on the mic with us and then address the media. It's always a rough thing for us to ask questions after a loss. And anybody that says they like doing that is insane to begin with.
Oh, no, I could appreciate that.
Well, I think we understand the raw emotion. I mean, but you're very honest. Actually, you're very easy to do it with. A lot of times. Hey, yesterday I had just come out and say, hey, my first question was you probably didn't like anything that went on between the lines.
Yeah.
But now today you go back and look at this is your point. You go back and you look and you see, you know what? It wasn't that bad. we didn't do everything cleanly, but we were closer to winning than we would have thought yesterday, right?
Than it felt and than it appeared after, yes.
Right.
Yes. But again, it gets back to the point that I made with the guys last night, or yesterday afternoon, is about being consistent. We have to be consistent through the game. We can't just start fast, go down, get 7 points, and then stumble. But be consistent and not get caught up. I got a sense yesterday for the first time that they got caught up in this after, and understandably so, after D. Rich's fumble. Oh gosh, this one's going to be hard now. Okay, I didn't think so. I thought, hey, shoot, we get points and come down. I know we got a really good, effective, deliberate onside kick. The ball's going to bounce all over the place. We got a chance to get it, and you step, because it's happened before. I think I was down 17 with 10 minutes left to go and won. So it's possible. So I don't want them to go to the point where we're going, oh no, I mean this one's going to be hard, because it's hard. But it's still possible.
Who delivered that onside? Was that Hecker or was that
Hecker?
Hecker. Is it? Yeah. Does he normally?
Do you not listen to your partner?
I did.
Do you not listen to your partner?
We get so caught up in the emotion. Yes. Is that normal? Or is that just something that happened?
No, he's been working on it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a good kick.
It was a different. Most of the time, you're looking at elevation and high bouncer.
No, we want that one bouncing.
You want it low. You want to make it
ping-ponging off everything.
You want it tough to handle.
Yeah.
It did work. It gave you shuffle. You guys had a shot to get it.
We had a shot, and that's the thing. As opposed to the one bounce, two bounce, and it goes way up in the air, and the guy jumps up and catches it.
You're not a fan of that
one? No. Well, unless you can get a lot of height, because you want to get through and around. You want to bang the return man.
That is such dangerous duty in the front line, man.
It's
if that ball's
though.
coming and you're looking, I mean you do not want to be on the onside prevent team.
Well, everybody has jobs there.
I understand.
Everything is.
But if you guys execute, someone's going to get blasted.
Someone's blocking. The cover team, someone's blocking, and someone's got to sneak through. And you guys see it sometimes on Friday after practice. We work that stuff after practice every Friday.
And yes, I do listen to you. I just missed that one. Another thing that confused, I guess, a lot of people was going for two in that situation. What was your thought process with that?
We needed points, and I knew we're down 27-7, right? 27. Well, yeah, it was 7. I got 13. Okay, so I'm 14 down, right? So I figured we had just scored going into it. I said, we need 3 touchdowns. Okay, so if I get touchdown 2, and another touchdown extra point, I'm up by 3 points.
Okay, and you already had. Even with the 2-point being unsuccessful, you're still 14 down. You're not 15. You're not 16 down. Right. You can tie with 2 extra points.
I wanted to try to win by 3, even at that point if it happened. But knowing that time I'm still down by 14 for a tie.
And the play design was to use Brian Quick's height.
Just toss it up to
Quick. Just made his hands on it.
He just about got it. Yeah. So. Now someone out there has seen us gone for 2, and they'll defend that play, and then we got something else going, and
that's the way it works.
Happen.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a phone call from Washington. We welcome in Roe. Roe, you were on with Jeff Fisher. Roe, you there? No, apparently not.
Roe.
We'll try to reconnect with Roe. Let me go back to. This is always interesting for me. And you explained why not everybody, a few weeks ago, you explained for us why everybody's not up on game day. You got to put some guys down. How difficult is it to put a guy like Britt Miller down on a day like that?
Not easy.
Yeah. And I want to go through that process of how difficult it is for you and how much you rely on your assistant coaches for that process.
Well, we do, but you know what? I'll tell you what. I talked to Britt on Wednesday and told him that there may be a chance Sunday that he might be inactive. I want him to know, and the reason being was that in the 2-back offense, if our offense deployed a fullback, a tailback, and we were getting a lot of junk, we're getting a lot of 46 stuff and a lot of this and a lot of that, so we just stayed out of it and attacked with the tight ends, and so we didn't have. He's a fullback. Going back to the numbers that Jill asked, that's 21 personnel. Okay, that's 2 backs, 1 tight end. We didn't have any 21 personnel plays in the game plan this week. as the staff was game planning Monday and Tuesday. So that's why we did it.
How do you describe Britt?
Oh, Britt's a linebacker playing fullback, and he's
a tough old country boy from Decatur, Illinois.
Yes, he is. He's a tough kid, and he's fun to have on your team too. Guys like him.
All right, let's reconnect with Roe. Roe, welcome to the show.
It's Roe in Washington. Hey, a couple things. One, I think it's time that we just see what Brian Quick can do. Put him out there and let's see if we have something in him or not. I mean, obviously none of the other receivers are getting open. And also, I got a hypothetical for you. Let's just say Sam Bradford's contract was up after this season, and he could go get top 10, top 5 quarterback money. Would you give it to him?
Well, first off, you don't know me very well, but I don't deal in hypotheticals, okay? That's not a good thing to do, especially when we're talking about players' livelihood and their careers. But if you're asking, do I think that Sam Bradford is the future of this franchise? Yes, I'm 110% convinced that he is, and he's going to be a really good player.
Well, that's a good question. We debated this on our show, The Fast Lane, for 4.5 hours, 4 hours and 15 minutes, about Sam Bradford, mostly about him. What is he? What's he going to be? He has a lot of people out there that dislike him, a lot of people that like him at the same time.
Yeah, let me interrupt you.
Yeah,
Let's go back a week ago.
You know how it goes. When you win, it's great. When you lose, it's bad.
Come on, please. He's Sam's, people are saying, this is his career game. He's getting better. Gosh, and all of a sudden, we played the Jets defense, and we lost. Guess what? If we get 2 or 3 turnovers on defense, you're not talking about Sam Bradford.
No doubt. No doubt.
Well, we don't get called for holding. Well, what they're saying now is that, boy, Jets defense gives quarterbacks problems. Yeah, it does. I mean, look what they've done to New England over the years.
Absolutely gives them problems.
Yeah.
I guess the question I was going to ask is, what do you have to do as a head coach to, and this is for all players, but just in quarterbacks in general, to make him better, make him a better player, to get him to where he wants to go, to be great?
Well, that's just reps. That's just time and experience. That's what that is. Okay, because that's true with all quarterbacks. Okay, now you're going to get some that are going to come out of the blocks as we speak that. Because traditionally there's what they refer to as that sophomore slump or that 3rd year, that 4th year slump, but that experience factor, I mean, and this relates to all players. Someone asked me what's the difference between an average player and a good player and then a great player. I said, well, probably 10,000 snaps between the average and the good and probably another 5,000 between the great. It's experience. So he's getting experience too. This is you in our world, as you got to turn, you have to find ways to turn hard times or negative things into positive things and learn from it.
It's a natural byproduct, though, of being a quarterback in the sport. It happens. I'm sure when you were in Nashville, you had fans questioning Steve McNair.
Oh, all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is nothing new for you.
No, it's not. And I mean, I'm not questioning Sam.
Oh no.
But the thing that you have to do for your quarterback is you have to create an environment where a healthy environment during the week for him, because what listeners don't realize is that Sam, the pressure is not just only on the quarterback on Sunday. It's on the quarterback on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday on the practice field. He's got to be right. You got to make the right decisions. You can't go out there and throw a dozen picks on the practice field on Wednesday, because then what does the rest of your team do? Oh boy, So the pressure on the quarterback is a week-long deal. So make sure that you create a healthy environment for him so that he can be successful during the week of practice and not putting too much in, that he can have a voice as far as what he likes and what he doesn't like. That's all part of that developmental process.
He just described my first 4 years in the league. Just saying.
Healthy environment?
Well, throwing 12 picks during the week.
Oh,
here we go again.
Well, yeah. One other thing, Jennifer, we'll get to your question. I just lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
We'll go to Jennifer.
Then we'll go to Jennifer.
It must not have been that great. Jennifer, welcome aboard. You're on with Jeff Fisher here.
Yes, thank you, Coach Fisher. It's always a pleasure to have you here. I think we need to put yesterday behind ourselves because we need to move forward. And moving forward, since this is the first year of your 5-year plan, I'm more curious about what next year's going to offer, because as a season ticket holder, I've been very patient and over the years, so I'd like to see what your next step is for your next 4 years. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate your patience and your support. We're in a 1 week at a time mode right now because you have to take that approach 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now. So we're all learning together how to move through ups and downs of a season, which is important. At the same time, we're developing young players, and as we speak, our scouts are combing the country right now, and our personnel directors getting ready for the draft and doing those kind of things. But what's important to us right now is to learn to win games, is to win a road game, and then to continue to develop the younger players. That's what we're focused on.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Now I want to go back before commercial break here. It looked to us to the naked eye during the game, and I mentioned this to you in the after the broadcast, after the game, that there just didn't seem to be much separation down the field yesterday in your passing game. Less than normal.
Yes.
Good read?
Yeah, good secondary. Cromartie. Basically what happens is Cromartie, and they did this with Rebus, Cromartie will line up on one side, one receiver, and it was either Gibby or whoever it was, and they just say, all right, there you have it, okay? So they got a one-on-one, and then they take that safety over, and then they trap the rest of your eligibles and do a good job of passing them off, and with the safety on top and two safeties on top, it's hard. So you can take shots at Cromartie all day long. Obviously we beat them a couple times inside and got them for a touchdown pass, but they gain an extra guy as far as the deployment of the DBs.
Is that a function of good cover corner and confidence in having a premier cover corner? That's the function of it.
Yes, that's what it is.
And did they pay special attention to Danny yesterday?
Not necessarily. They did. I mean, they started the game with Cromartie on him, inside on the slot, and Danny spun him around, got the first down. That's not Cromartie's matchup. He matches up much better with the longer guys, not the quick guys. So then what they did was they come down and they start doubling and doing things against Danny, or in and outs and things like that, to take those things away.
Really aggressive with them too in the slot, jumping out and really trying to get their hands on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
We will take your phone calls at 314-656-6101 or on Twitter at Rams Radio. We'll take your questions here. Back in a moment. This is the Jeff Fisher Show, brought to you by Super Park and Buffalo Wild Wings on 101 ESPN and the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.
Hey. Who's that?
Oh, that's Rob.
When I lived in this apartment, the 49ers won the Super Bowl. I used to watch every game from this exact spot. This exact spot. I didn't know what else to do. This is my lucky seat, man. The team needs me, man.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings. Good to have you with us. The Jeff Fisher Show. Final segment. In a moment, we'll take a look forward to the game at Arizona against the Cardinals. Scott Wells activated this week?
Yes, we'll have him back on the field in an official capacity.
And he's
how he does.
He's been practicing for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so
it's feeling pretty good.
Feels good. So you'll see how that goes before you.
Yeah, we'll make the decision next couple of days. I mean, I'm about starting or officially reporting that he's starting, but I think he's going to be up and ready to go. We'll see.
What does a healthy Wells mean to you? Because I know you're always.
Do you even know yet?
Yeah,
because
we don't. We just was an opener, We
it's
just one preseason game in the opener, and he got hurt before halftime, so we had him for half.
What was it about his game in Green Bay?
Well, just a real smart, quick, athletic, strong, leverage center, that just will totally be on the same page with Sam as far as all the checks and the calls and everything. Now, Robbie's done a good job. I mean, Robbie's been solid for us. So now we'll see. Maybe we need to keep Robbie in there too. Who knows?
Options are open.
Yes,
options are open.
You read my mind.
You're going to Arizona this week. I mentioned to Marco at the top of the show, you're undefeated in the division.
That's correct. We
So-
need to remain that way.
Yes.
How about Arizona? 6 turnovers, 5 picks against Atlanta. They intercepted Matt Ryan 3 times in the first quarter. And Atlanta still figures. Atlanta was a -6, I think, in the game and won.
What are the percentages on that? Did Doc send you those?
Yeah, the percentage of being, if you're -5, you lose 97% of the time.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Does that sound right?
Somewhere in there, 95, 97%, yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So virtually
and
impossible.
now you talk about these turnovers too.
Yeah.
Just what we said, they're tips. I mean, there's a tip here, and it's a tip and hits a Cardinal defender in the chest 2 or 3 times.
So
that does happen in the NFL, right?
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
you're going to get 15 in a game.
And then they had I watched the game before I came over, and then they got Atlanta. I don't know which one of the receivers run a shallow cross. And defender comes up and punches the ball out from behind. Okay, great strip. Okay, the ball lands one hop and it's going out of bounds. And one of the Cardinals defenders launches and throws it back in the field of play, and it happens to hit one of his teammates in the chest. And now they've recovered the fumble.
Hell of a play.
Now, but what you don't know is there was an Atlanta player right there, just about 5 yards away from him. Had he thrown a little bit that way, Atlanta player would have caught a score.
Right.
You know, so the bounce was bouncing well for the Cardinal defense.
We were talking before we went on the air about the bounces not going your way, and we said this. Janoris Jenkins blocks the field goal. That ball is sitting there to be scooped and scored, but it goes out of bounds. Now, let me go back to rookies playing roles on your special teams. You talked about how dynamic you thought your special teams would be this year. So you got Zerline, Hecker. Okay, you got other guys, McLeod, your leading tackler on special teams. Here's another rookie making a big play blocking the kick. That was a perfect angle. DeMarco said he could see it on the second step he had.
Yeah, he had it, yeah. And let's elaborate on that. In the Miami game, when Jolon Dunbar hits Tannehill from the back and the ball's fumbled and it goes about 30 yards across the field and goes out of bounds, okay? Those are the kinds of things that have happened, and as long as they keep happening, we're going to be okay. But at the end of the day, we make our own breaks.
Right.
So we got to start doing a better job making our own breaks.
But it's not like for lack of trying. You're getting the ball out. It's just not bouncing your way. I've never seen anything like this before in my life.
We've recovered 1 fumble this year.
How many have you
10
forced?
games.
How many?
Oh gosh, not as many.
There were 4 on the ground last week. One was a botched snap.
One was a snap. That was 3, 9, 10, 11, probably 12, which is not a lot. But it's right in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but it's the fact that we recovered 1 and the interception. You know, we got off to a good start. You know,
you had 3 in the first game.
Linebacker, and then but we'll see. That's what this week is about: is getting the ball back and scoring points.
All right, who do you expect to see quarterback-wise, Arizona?
I really don't have any idea. I mean,
Okay.
Kevin Cobb, I think, it was inactive, I guess. He's probably got a chance to get healthy. They pulled Skelton out and played the rook, so we'll see what happens.
Ryan Lindley from San Diego State, right?
Yes.
All right, we'll have to brush up on him.
Yeah.
And remember, if I call his name, remember who I'm calling.
Hey,
I missed 1. Come on, I missed 1.
Hey, to you, to the listeners, and to everybody here, have a great Thanksgiving.
You too,
You
Jeff.
too. Happy Thanksgiving, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right. How about a hand for Jeff Fisher? Looking forward to getting back in the winning track. NFC West, undefeated in the NFC West.
Well, you know, we're returning to that place in Arizona. Patrick Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be smarter about putting the football. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Jeff Fisher Show, brought to you by Super Park, Buffalo Wild Wings on 101 ESPN and the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.